Elote, one of my favorite childhood snacks from South Texas. And this is elote as well. This is on the cob, this is in the cup. This is called envaso, or also known as esquites. So today I'm gonna be going over this South Texas favorite, this Latin favorite, whatever you want to call it. This is something that is deep rooted into my childhood, and I just wanted to go over this for a good side that would be good for the Thanksgiving table, Friendsgiving table, or even just regular dinners. These are just 3 ways that you can serve it, and I'm gonna go over those 3 ways today. We're gonna celebrate the elote, and we're gonna celebrate the envaso, the esquite. So like I said, this one is very deep rooted in my childhood, and I just want to take some steps, some techniques today to show you that this could actually make a really nice side for your dinner table. Now I grew up on elote. I grew up on many different little snacks like this. Even in my middle school and high school, we grew up on having hot Cheetos with cheese. We even had tamales for breakfast. Like, it was just a very different world for me. I think using these techniques, though, could make it nice on a plate for you. Put this on your dinner table. I think this would be a solid addition. Corn on the cob is the elote. And then there's the other one that we'd call envaso. I didn't realize that there's another way to call it, which is esquites, which most Mexicans up north or in like California and stuff, they call it esquites. But back home, we call it envaso, like in the cup. Now, this is where my restaurant expertise will come in here. There's a really cool way to get the most flavor from the corn, and I think this is actually probably like the easiest way because you're just tossing it in. So sheet tray. Oh, I forgot about this fun little fact. I thought this little burn mark on the sheet tray looked like an orca whale, so that's why I got this tattoo right here. Orcas are just good luck. That's why I got this. So I've got my oven set to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit directly on the tray, and this is going to allow them to steam out in the husk, which has a nice perfuminess, which will give it more flavor, and that nice roastiness and smokiness is gonna come out rather than just boiling them. Look, street corn elote, it's street food at its finest, okay? And I'm not saying we're gonna fuck with tradition here. I understand that usually they boil it. Okay, but that's not to say that we can use our experience just to make it a little bit nicer. Not to say that it's better, okay? I'm not gonna say that because we all know that when, you know, a mom makes it, it's just always better. It's just hard to beat. Here in Seattle, I managed to find a truck that I think sells elote. There we go, elote and esquite. Thanks so much, I'm gonna say. So this is basically what it is. It's all of the elote fixings, but all in a cup. As you can see, the corn, it looks like it's just been steamed off or boiled off. Very, very simple dish. And I think this right here can be the base for what's gonna be a really nice side dish. Let's try it out. This is your first time having this, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah? It's kind of like Korean corn, right?
Just with a different cheese and more spice.
Yeah. We're going to, you know, show you some methods today, some techniques that could make things a little bit nicer. So it's something that you want to share on the dinner table for the Friendsgiving this year or the Thanksgiving this year. And now this method is super easy. It's really a lot easier than you think here. The reason why I have these 2 bowls here is it makes my life so much easier. You put a big bowl and a smaller bowl in that big bowl. And this part you don't have to do, but I like to do this to protect my knives. I put a little napkin right on top of that bowl so it's not metal on metal. And then this can just get sliced right down, and the bowl is gonna catch all the corn. I like to save these for the stock later on. Elote wasn't just a snack for me like it could be for you. It was more so an experience. It was something that you would get excited for. This is all the corn, by the way. See how it just catches in the bowl? That's good to go. And that way I would have it is from a van. Yes, like a sketchy van. It would come around the neighborhood and it would be announcing, it wasn't quite like the ice cream truck song you know, like no 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 no. It wasn't that. It was more of
Elotes con mayonesa, queso, chile. Tostaditas con queso, chile y limón.
immediately you would look for change, you'd run outside, and you would go try to get an elote before the line builds up or the van just takes off. So that was like a whole experience for me. I have a lot of these experiences. There's another snack called a mango nada, mango plus chile and stuff. I could talk about that one in another video. Right now we're strictly just gonna talk about elote because we're kind of on a roll with things, with everything South Texas. I don't know if you guys saw the last video on the frijoles charros. I might go back home and do the competition. Now, this is the reason why I'm cutting it off the cob. We have something called corn milk. Now, what corn milk basically is corn kernels raw blended with water. The starches from those corn kernels are going to allow us to thicken things. We would utilize this in restaurants a lot. For pasta dishes mainly, when you finish a pasta with it, it thickens up beautifully and it has a beautiful corn flavor, say if you're doing a corn type of pasta or any type of dish for that matter. So I'm thinking we can replace the mayonesa with the corn starch and have a creamy corn flavor on this. Make it super corny, if that makes sense. Corn milk, a beautiful condiment that you should just keep in your fridge for most times you want to thicken stuff. That starch is beautiful. Now, I know what you're thinking. How am I going to spread this liquid on the corn cob for the elote? Now, here's what I'm thinking right now. I put some into a pot. This is a cup. And then we just put in about 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna make this corn starch butter, a corn butter basically. See, now here, each ingredient is gonna play a role. And look, tell me if this is getting too complicated for just elote. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I'm thinking the corn is going to provide creaminess. The queso fresco, it's gonna provide that nice saltiness, and of course it's cheese, so it's delicious. The chile for the heat, the lime for the sour. It's gonna be like an all-around amazing package. That's why elote is so delicious. That's why street corn is so good. And I think this concept is not that complicated. Also, if you want like full recipes and stuff, you can join our Discord. We have a little like wacky group chat on there if you ever want to join. You don't have to, I'm just letting you know if you want to find the recipes and stuff. And honestly, drop a comment down below what you're thinking about these last few videos on my childhood favorites. Let me know what you think. Or if you want, leave a negative comment. I see all your comments. I enjoy all of them. If you have a good negative comment, sure, you can drop that too. I don't mind. So this is just supposed to thicken up, and this is gonna make a beautiful glaze to go on that corn. That is the whole purpose of the corn milk. Now, here's why I mentioned to save these stalks. Now, these stalks provide even more starch and more flavor, so why not? If we're already making a corn milk butter, toss those stalks in there, get even more richness out of this. That's what we're doing here when we're cooking. We're just trying to make everything a little bit nicer. It's all these little steps that you might think are complicated, but they're not. They're so easy. You want to keep a watchful eye on this because it's going to go quick. As you can see, like magic, it is already thickening up like crazy. It's insane how this stuff works like magic. It's so fast. So yeah, as you can see, look at how thick that is. So this is why I'm saying the cornstarches, they work beautiful for thickening things. I love keeping this in the fridge. It should last about a week or so. If you want your scallion slices to be really curly, put them in some ice for about 5 minutes or so. It's been about 45 minutes and this is going at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And just look at this. It smells so good. I wish you could smell this. It's just beautiful roasted corn that we can keep on the cob for this. It's just so nice. We'll just let this chill out for a bit so we can take the husk off. Some elote have fresh herbs on them, some don't. Some just have the mayonesa, the limon, and the cheese and the chile. Some have, scallions. some don't. It all depends. If you want to get a little frisky, you can even do some Mexican hot Cheetos, which is what I grew up with. Actually, everything back home, they put hot Cheetos on. Even if you go to the grocery store, they put hot Cheetos on the damn sushi. That's a really Mexican thing. You could go down that rabbit hole if you want. It's really good. So these are all my components here. The corn for the esquite, queso fresco. We've got cilantro, some lime cheeks, and some scallion bottoms, scallion tops, some serrano, some corn milk, and then we have some roasted elote. That's gonna be nice when we unwrap that. Usually it's not done like this, and I understand you don't mess with tradition. This is all very traditional items though, and we're just showing you a different technique of doing it, of preparing those items, if that makes any sense. We used to serve street corn at the restaurant, and it had some fried shallots as well. That was a good component, but another thing was the technique of frying the corn off. I can show that later on, but I'm thinking of doing a video on Johnny cakes. Corn Johnny cakes would be great to add to your dinner table as well. So stay tuned for that one. But this is going to be all the components that I think would make a really good side dish at your table. Sometimes I get a lot of like culture justice warriors in the comments on Instagram and stuff, and I think it's kind of a little too far. Maybe because I do look white passing sometimes. I don't really ever get included in any of the cultures because of the way I look. It's so weird. But anyways, what do you guys think of this take on it? Now the reason for doing this is it becomes one pan pickup. I can even serve it in this entire skillet if I'd like. Put this on the table and call it good. We got some cheesy elote in a pan, or I guess you gotta call it esquites because that's what they call it, but back home we just call it en vaso, in the cup. We even got served hot Cheetos with cheese back in my middle school. It was 25 cents. Hot Cheetos with cheese, that was like all the rage. But anyways, this is never a thing that I would make at home. It was always from the elote truck. So this is a big tradition that is ingrained in me. I don't know if you guys grew up with that. Maybe you did if you're watching this. And the way that I loved it was with this. Now let me show you why this method is king. You see, all I did was I roasted them in the husk. There was no need to boil, no need to cut, nothing like that. Sorry, that was really weird. Harry Potter just started playing on my TV randomly. Okay, anyways, this oven method is really cool because I get to keep it in the husk. Oh my God, that's so nice. And I don't have to boil it. I don't have to mess with any pans. I just leave it in here, toss it in the oven, and call it good. Now, if you want to do this for your party, I would say this is the move because just look at how beautiful that is. You don't even need a stick. You just serve it like this and boom, you got your elotes. You could even braid it if you want. For you girls out there that are good at braiding, I would say do that. I kind of like this way more because what happens is the natural sugars in the corn will just caramelize in here and just steam out. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the way that the food trucks do it and the street vendors do it, but I think this is just so much nicer. Like the presentation alone, I'd say is worth it. One of the most important components of this is the spice. We love our spice in the Latin culture. And for this one, you can just go to the Mexican store and get one for it. Here at the Mexican market, just to show you some ingredients for this that you might not be able to find at a regular store. Probably like some powders that you could use. They even have some that they make themselves sometimes for it. I mean, you could use tajin, honestly, if you want. I like to make my own. but this is just to show you like there's options for this. Like if you find a Mexican store, definitely try it out. This one looks interesting. It looks like just like citric acid. I grew up on something like this. I would put this stuff on my hand and lick it off my hand. That was like the standard Mexican candy. This is all my childhood right here. Oh, I used to love these. You ever seen this?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Looks creepy.
Paleta, payaso. It's a little clown and it's got marshmallow and the candy. These are so good. I wonder if we should try these.
We should have gotten this for Halloween.
Honestly, you can even go to any grocery store and just do, what's that stuff called? Tajín. You could do tajín, Lucas, if you're in the right part of town, if you guys know what Lucas is. But I like to just do a simple one where I do some smoked paprika, sumac, and dark chili powder. Now for me, I had a really big revelation when I discovered sumac in my early years of being a cook. Because for me, sumac is so reminiscent of the stuff I would have as a kid, those candies with chamoy and tamarindo and stuff like that. It just makes me feel like I'm having that. It's very reminiscent. So sumac has to be one of my favorite spices. It's so nice. It's like got a tartness and it's got a smokiness to it. So that's why I include sumac. It might not be normal, I don't know. But for me, if you come from like Latin culture, try it out if you haven't, because sumac, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel reminiscent when you try it. It's so nice.
Really good.
That was good. Is it better than the truck?
Way better.
Really? This is the way I like it. Okay, here's what I want you to do. If you want some more sides, just in general, sides inspired, just comment sides, and I'll throw some more at you.